What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful fight fans across the world? And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down why UFC 308 has the potential to be card of the year, which is a crazy statement to make because we had some great cards this year. But first, before that, thank y'all so much. In the last 2 days, I've gotten 30 to 20 subscribers, so thank y'all so much. Y'all are running it up. It just makes me happy, alright? I just want to make good videos for y'all. And I love when y'all watch them and subscribe to me because that's what it's all about, alright? I make good videos and you guys enjoy them, okay? But let's get straight into why UFC 308 might be card of the year. But this is the UFC 300 card that we all wanted. Before we get into all that, this is the card that we all wanted to see for UFC 300. Even though UFC 300 was great, I think it's the card of the year so far that we had. But come on, this is the card that we all wanted. But all jokes aside, let's get into what I think were the top 4 pay-per-view cards of the year. O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. Okay, UFC 306, even though it was not a name-heavy, it was not a very name-heavy card, the fights delivered. Okay, and it was in the Sphere. The Sphere made it 10 times cooler. We had Chihuahuas, alright? Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. Great, amazing fight. One of the best flyweight fights I've seen in a while. Alright, Ketlin Souza with her Charles Dubonx type of performance. Okay, Ignacio Bahamondes with a nasty KO. Nasty KO. Really impressed me in that fight. Really impressed me. I thought Manuel Torres was going to win, but he made Manuel Torres look like a amateur. It was crazy. Norma Dumont put a beating on Irene Aldana. God damn. And yeah, damn. Okay, Norma Dumont. She got the bunda. Ode Osborne versus Ronaldo Rodriguez. Another great fight, flyweight bout. Another great MMA fight. It had a lot of grappling, had a lot of striking. It was a great fight overall. It was a great fight. Esteban Ribovic versus Daniel Zellhuber. Definitely the best fight of the card. By far. Alright, the third round of this fight was insane. Esteban Ribovic, after his Terrence McKinney knockout, I think everybody put their eyes on Esteban Ribovic, and the type of performance he had was great. I can't wait to see what Esteban Ribovic does next. He's a great fighter, great striker. Both of these guys are great strikers. But yeah, it was just a great fight overall. We got UFC Ryan Garcia right here and Daniel Zellhuber. But Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega. Diego Lopez just beat Brian Ortega up for 3 rounds. Let's be real. I don't even think Brian Ortega had any success in this fight. That was a terrible pick by me in hindsight. But I don't know why I picked him. I was betting on the Eagle being reborn, breaking his claws, breaking his beak. But we're not getting into that. Alright? We're just talking about the card. And then this is where it falls off, alright? 2 50-minute cutoff fests. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to crash out again. We're not going to talk about it again. Don't come for me in the comments for calling these cutoff fests. But even though they were, alright? Even though they were. But next pay-per-view, that was great. UFC 298, Volkanovski versus Topuria. Another great card. But this one, the main card was heat, okay? The overall, the card was but the main card was heat. We had Volk versus Ilya. Whitaker versus Costa, Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary, even though that was one of the weirdest fights I've ever watched. Merab versus Henry Cejudo. I'll give Merab this. That was probably his most entertaining fight, picking up Henry Cejudo like a sack of potatoes. But Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. Anthony Hernandez with a crazy type of cardio performance. I think Anthony Hernandez is fighting soon, if I'm not wrong. I can't wait to watch his fight because he's a crazy pressure grappler. But in the prelims, this is where it falls off. Okay, Amanda Lemos versus Mackenzie Dern was the greatest fight of the prelims. Alright, it by far. We're not gonna get into these prelims. Val Woodburn, Josh Quinlan, we're not gonna get into it. Alright, we're not gonna get into it. But yeah, this was actually a good fight. Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Lemos, pretty decent fight. But next pay-per-view 299. Oof, this was a heat. This card was heat. Alright, this card was heat. Top to bottom, this card was pretty heat. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. 5-round beatdown. Insane striking performance. Then we had Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. Dustin the Diamond, when everybody was counting him out, he came out and got the dub. Great fight. Great fight. We had MVP versus Kevin Holland. MVP, man. He destroyed Kevin Holland that night. Nobody, a lot of people cannot stand on the feet with Michael Venom Page. Alright, let me just say that. But JDM with the comeback victory against Gilbert Burns. Another great fight. Alright, even though Gilbert Burns was kind of holding, but JDM had the comeback, so it made it great. Petr Yan versus Sonya Dong. A great fight. That was a great fight right there. Then we had Curtis Blades getting the double over Jelton Almeida. That was like something nobody was seeing. Curtis Blades was getting thrown around in that first round, and he came back with the TKO. That was crazy. All right, this is where it starts falling off a little bit. All right, a little bit. But the Gamrot fight, decent. Normal Gamrot type of performance, I guess. Kyler Phillips actually he did really well. He looked like a great striker. Michel Pereira, he went off. Okay, he went off this night. Bro, choked him out cold, man. Cold standing. I'm pretty sure standing. So that fight was insane. This is when we were all still on the Robeles de Spain hype train, and he got a KO in 18 seconds. All right, this was just a great card. Shout out Azu Amlabayev, my long lost cousin. Okay, and then we're not even gonna get into that what's going on down there, but let's get into the actual best card of the year so far. All right, so far UFC 300. Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Let's start from the bottom to the top, because top to bottom this card was amazing. Cody Garbrandt versus Davison Figueiredo. Great fight. Davison Figueiredo with the submission in the second round. Amazing. Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. Bobby Green beat Jim Miller for crazy that fight. Jim Miller was bloodied up. God damn, Bobby Green beat him up bad. But Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. Decent fight. All right, decent fight. Jalen Turner versus Manny Moicano. Okay, I can't afford to lose, brother. Alright? I can't afford to lose. Okay? Manny Moicano with the comeback victory. Alright? After almost getting KO'd. Shout out Manny Moicano. Okay? I want him to be Benoit Saint Denis next week, even though I don't think he is. He has a good chance, though. But Manny Moicano with a W. Let's go. Sadiq Youssef versus Diego Lopez. Great fight as well. It wasn't even a great fight because it lasted like a minute. He KO'd him so quickly. Diego Lopez is a goddamn beast. Okay? But Kayla Harrison just dominated Holly Holm the whole time. Aljamain Sterling versus Cavalcator. This is the ugly cousin at the party, because being boring on UFC 300 is a crime. All right, but whatever. Okay, whatever. Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. Oh, great fight. Yuri was getting pieced up, getting his leg chewed up in that first round, and he came back with the KO victory. Amazing Yuri Prochazka type of performance, all right? Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage, another kind of stinky one, all right? At least he got the submission. Arman Tsarukyan versus Charles Oliveira, great fight from the start to the finish. It was a great fight overall. Great MMA fight. Come on, all right? Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. Do we even have to talk about this one? This is the best KO of all time in the UFC, in my opinion. Okay, this is the best KO of all time. BMF, UFC 300, last 5 seconds, let's stand and bang. Kills Justin Gaethje after everybody counts him out. All right, after everybody says Justin Gaethje is going to outgun Max Holloway. He's going to be the first one to crack Max Holloway. All right, this was one of the greatest KOs I've ever watched. Okay, at UFC 300. This is what made UFC 300 so great. This moment right here. But, I can't see Max lose to Ilya. I really hope it doesn't. I'm going to make a video about Ilya winning so Max loses, because we know when I make a video, it's always cursed. But Yan Xiaonan versus Zhang Weili, honestly, it was a decent fight. Even though not the best. It was a pretty decent fight. It wasn't bad. It had a couple of good moments in it. When Yan Xiaonan almost got choked down and stuff like that. Had some good moments. But Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill KO'd him in the first round. UFC 300 was just an amazing card from top to bottom. But let's get into why UFC 308 might be the card of the year. Okay, let's start from the bottom. Then we'll go to the top. We got Murtek Oroblai in the first fight. Okay, we got literally somebody from 1000 BC in the first fight. Alright. And Murtek Oroblai, he's a beast. I forgot who he fought in his last fight, but he put on a different type of grappling performance. He's just an insane pressure grappler. He's insane. He puts a crazy pace, and he's actually decently entertaining. Not just kneeing thighs. All right, okay, but I'm not hating. All right, I'm not hating. Let's just get into it more. We got Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Nursultan Ruzaboyev. Shout out my Uzbeki cousin. All right, we got some viewers from Uzbekistan too. Shout out all my homies in Uzbekistan watching this. But Nursultan Ruzaboyev versus Rinat Fakhretdinov. This is a banger fight right here. Even Rinat Fakhretdinov is a great fighter, and so Ruzaboyev is decent, even though he lost to Joaquin Buckley. Crazy, but this is gonna be a good fight. All right, this is definitely gonna be a good fight. But Ibo Aslan versus Rafael Abuz Magomedov, Bruno Ferreira, who knows? Kennedy Nchukwu versus Justin Tafa. I'm smelling a Justin Tafa KO. I'm smelling it. I don't know why. I'm smelling it right there. But Sherif Magomedov versus Armen Petrosyan. A great fight right there. Sherif the Bullet Magomedov. He throws roundhouse kicks like they're jabs, man. Shout out Sherif the Bullet Magomedov. I love watching his fights. Even though a lot of people hate because he doesn't have like KO type of power. But I just love just watching somebody just non-stop striking for like 15 minutes. It's insane. How do you throw that many kicks for like 15 minutes? It's insane. With one eye. Alright, don't forget, bro has one eye. Jeff Neal versus RDA. Great fight right there. Two veterans going at it. Alright, great fight. Dan Ige versus Lerone Murphy. Another great fight. Lerone Murphy versus... I don't even know who I would pick in that fight. Both of them are great fighters. Maybe I would lean a little bit towards Lerone Murphy. But both of them are great fighters in that fight. That's a banger right there. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Another banger, okay? A lot of people like to hate on Magomed Ankalaev because he's a Dagestani. But, bro, he goes out there and KOs people. He doesn't even need to... He only shoots the takedown when he needs to. Usually, he's out there standing and banging, okay? Magomed Ankalaev is underrated, all right? Let me say that. He's underrated. And Alexander Rakic, he's pretty good. He has some great striking. He was winning that Yuri Prochazka fight until Yuri just powered through and KO'd him. But Cyril Gane versus Volkov. Another banger. Okay, finally, this guy Cyril Gane is fighting. All right, finally, bro is fighting. But then we got Robert Whittaker versus Hamza Chimaev. Oh my, are we going to see the downfall of Hamza Chimaev? Please, I'm begging. I want to see Robert Whittaker go out there, destroy Hamza Chimaev, and then rematch Sean Strickland or DDP, and then, not rematch Sean Strickland, fight Sean Strickland or rematch DDP and get the strap again. How great would that be to see? Okay, but first he has to get through Hamza Chimaev. Please, man. That's going to be a great fight, regardless. If win or lose, Robert Whittaker, just Whittaker versus Chimaev, just seeing that fight on your screen, come on. That makes me giggle, okay? That makes me a different type of giddy. But then we got the best fight you can make all year, okay? The best fight possible. Ilia Topuria versus Max the Blessed Holloway. Okay, this is the best fight you can make in 2024. And we're getting it on an amazing card in Abu Dhabi, which is crazy. This should have been the Sphere card. Imagine this at the Sphere. This would have been insanity, bro. This would have been insanity. But this is why I believe UFC 308 might be card of the year. Because top to bottom, it has a lot of great fights. And if you notice any trends in the UFC 308, it has no bathroom breaks. But I'm not saying anything crazy, all right? Don't come for me. This is all shenanigans. This is all jibber jabber. Okay, don't come for me, but let me know down in the comments below. Do you think UFC 308 is going to be a great card? Do you think it's going to deliver? I really think it is, all right? But that's it for this video. Leave a like, subscribe, turn the notifications on for videos like this almost every single day, man. But that's it for this one. And I'll see you, beautiful people, in the next one, man.